Hi everyone, we are back again with Minal Desai this time, and she is the founder of GGIS School Ahmedabad, lovingly known as Master Nee, and she runs a blog called Musings of Master Nee. Thank you so much, Minal, for joining us today. Thank you for saying yes.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Radhika. It's a pleasure to meet you, and just being here has a great vibe.
Okay, so this entire podcast that we are shooting is around Navratri, and Navratri is known for the goddess energy, the divine feminine energy that it invokes naturally in all of us. So we are all prepared for the 9 days, celebrating the 9 forms of goddess Durga.
Sure.
In your journey of life, have you associated with the goddess energy in any form? And goddess, not just the divine goddess out there, the goddesses inside our homes, our society, as our friends, family members, our mother. So, how have you associated it? How has the
Uh,
journey been?
so honestly, I would not be able to kind of share in terms of the divine energy, but I have been raised by very strong women.
Okay.
So I've had the presence of so my mother, she's your super boss, the person you would
The boss
you'd look
lady.
up, the boss lady kind of a person. And she has a mind of her own, and she has raised us to have a mind of our own.
Wow.
So at times, of course, we get at loggerheads because all of us have minds of our own. So that's a separate story. But that said, I think as a family and as a community also, I'm blessed to be in a space where women are not, women are not apologetic.
Wow.
So they will not just assert their space. They'll be like, you should know I am going to assert my space kind of a thing.
So they demand.
They demand, and they will take it rightfully, and they will be like, listen, I am not taking this bullshit coming from anybody. So that's, I think that's something that I've
And
grown up
that's,
seeing.
yeah.
And hence I've never felt the need to be to have that greater sense for being a female. It's like, yeah, I'm a female and I will exist, and you will learn to exist around me.
Correct. And there was no differentiation. You were raised by strong women. So, and your elder
Differentiation,
sister,
sure.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is that there wasn't this idea of being timid, meek, or temerity.
was there a differentiation?
There was difference in terms of, say, the society itself had different expectations of what a man does, what a woman does.
Correct.
But no matter what you do it with courage. No matter what you do it well, kind of a thing.
Yes.
So, on that sense, there was a lot of empowerment.
Yes.
But was there a difference? Definitely. I think you have to understand that everybody is a product of their own generation. And so were my parents, so was the society around me.
Yes.
So,
But they gave their best so that
Absolutely.
that inculcation of strength is embedded in you.
it's embedded. Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely.
So, when we talk about energy, like we have both masculine and feminine energy, divine name is given because that is the purest form of that energy.
Okay.
When we talk about strength, we all have strength, but it becomes the epitome of strength when it is divine.
Okay.
Epitome
Okay.
of love, epitome of courage, epitome of wisdom, creativity.
Okay.
How have you balanced your feminine energies with your masculine? Because you are an entrepreneur, a leader, a teacher, and you need both a taskmaster and the nurturer.
Okay.
How do you balance that in your daily life?
Uh, I wish there was a simple answer to that. There isn't. I think um, it's an art that you learn over a period of time.
Yes.
There is no one size fits all kind of a thing.
Not at all.
But I think one thing that has helped me really is having a girl child and a male child. So
Beautiful.
having a girl and a boy, both.
Yes.
I see myself being a different parent to the two of them. I've seen them grow differently. And I work with education, and I want to say that while at a cognitive level, the brains are same for all children.
Yes.
But somewhere being a male and a female in some manner does create some sort of differences in how you experience life. So it's not about what the society gives you, but it's about
How
what
you
you take
perceive.
in.
Yes.
That difference I have seen in my kids, at least. It may not be true for
It
everybody.
is there. I
So-
am also aware of lot of kids, and I have interacted with lot of kids. I have a son and a daughter too.
Exactly.
So
And
I
I think
see them grow very, very differently.
very, very
in the
different.
same environment.
Absolutely. So that's something that has taught me how to look at both the things, and that there are pros and cons to both.
Correct.
That there is one is not better than the other. It's
Yes,
just that they are
absolutely.
different.
They are
And
different.
they're
And
different.
this also teaches us to embrace our internal self.
True.
That sometimes we can be emotional and sometimes we can be very, very firm.
Yeah.
And both are a part of
Both
us.
are a part of us. And yeah, to answer your question about saying how do you balance it, I don't think it's just the difference of energies that you need to learn to balance. You need to learn to balance a lot of things in life.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's only over a period of time that you realize those things. And I believe priorities also change. So balance is not always equal. Balance is, in my understanding, balance is having an equilibrium. It may not be exactly at the same plane, but it is about having an equilibrium where you are stable,
Yes.
where you are kind of saying that,
Yes.
okay, I can find peace here. And that, I believe, changes with age, with time, with your circumstances around. So if somebody is unwell in the family, your equilibrium is going to be different versus if you are on a vacation on a beach.
Yes.
Then your
Yes.
equilibrium is going to be different.
Yes, yes, you're playing a role of a mother. The equilibrium is different.
It's different.
When you are in school, that is different.
Absolutely.
So you are our eighth guest, and the 9 forms of Ma Durga. The eighth form is Mahagauri.
Okay.
And Mahagauri represents clarity. She represents transformation.
Acha.
So I want to connect this entire journey of yours with how have you transformed yourself as a human, as a person, over the period of time, over years? Uh, if you could share your life story, that any memory of your life where you have really invested in your self transformation, that you needed, नहीं अब ये सेम पुराने तरीके नहीं चलेंगे, I have to evolve now.
Oh, I can go on for this with this forever and ever because the number of things I've tried and the number of ways in which I've tried to change myself, I think they're just immense. But you
But
spoke about
prominent एकदम कोई
yeah.
ऐसा हाँ.
So I'll probably a few things from early childhood if I start and this idea of finding strength and all that you share it. You know, Radhika, one of the earliest memories I have of being a child is I was watching, this is early 80s I'm talking about, okay? So there's this Gujarati film that is playing on TV and it's a very melodramatic scene where there is this rural setting and all that and there is this fellow who's trying to overpower a woman and all that and he's trying to use some, I don't know, some, what do you call it? The chapkha mare, Gujarati. So he's trying to control her and all of that, and that woman is just giving in, and she's trying hard to just bear the weight of his blows and all of that and all of it. And it was just this over dramatic scene that was playing out. And I am a 6-7-year-old girl sitting and watching it with my parents and all that. And the only thing that comes out of my mouth is, "But why are you taking it like this? At least fight back." It's this idea of saying that no matter what is coming to you, no matter how many blows are coming your way, what is being leashed on you, it is your duty to fight back. You can probably go down saying that I died or I gave up, but I put up a great fight.
Correct.
And the reason why probably this is a very vivid memory for me.
Came out like this, yes?
Yeah, because I think I've lived my life with that. To say it doesn't matter what blows come your way, it is your duty to bloody fight back.
Yes.
So no matter what comes in, you are going to fight back, and I think that's what I've tried to do all my life. One of the simplest ways that I had to do it was face the camera. Like literally facing the camera was
Tell me about it.
was fighting back. So now picture this: we are 4 siblings. I'm the second one. And I have like the naughtiest elder sister you can find.
Okay.
And if there was one person to beat it, it was my younger brother. So I am sandwiched between these two naughtiest children that my parents have. And un dono ka itni shaitani, my parents were just like at their wits' end with these two people. And then they were very egalitarian. So they're like, listen, if there is any shaitani in the house, all three of you are responsible for it.
Oh.
So
You are.
हाँ मैं तो साथ में एक्स्ट्रा में हमेशा मेरा नाम लिया जाता था kind of a thing. So I was this quiet, timid person. Quite literally, my siblings used to say, "तू बोलती ही नहीं थी," like you know.
Really?
Yeah, and from there I've come to camera and I'm giving these podcasts and all of it. So it's been
That's
quite.
big. I mean, that requires again a lot of courage. Even the innate ability to understand that she must fight back. That at that tender age, that I feel is the divine intervention.
Okay.
The above whoever we call that,
whatever you want to name
that
it.
insight that comes at that time, that power that generates from within, that we are all born with. But over the years, we forget that we are born with that power. And the women or the men who do not fight back, do not stand for their belief, are the ones who need to tap into that energy again.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yes,
that
I
connection
think
is not something that I
yes.
was aware of, but yeah, I get
So
it.
I think now we are getting there. And in your journey, there you mentioned that of course there were societal
Yeah.
do's and don'ts, and people have their own opinion. But in your house, it was always that if you believe in it, you can do it.
Yeah. So,
But in society, my question here is, was there any norm that you fought and gave your best and believed that, yes, this is my belief and I have to give a fight here?
at large, I think in small little ways, you're always fighting somebody's expectations and all of that.
Yes.
Like one example I can think of is I was in this professional setting and there were some 6, 7 males of the education fraternity and all of that. And we were all discussing different roles and duties people could take up for a certain event, something coming up and all of that. And each one said, okay, I could look into this, I could look into the venue, I could look into that, blah, blah, etc., etc. And then the buck passes to me.
Well,
And for some reason, the person sitting right on me, once that person ends, there's a moment of 5 or 10 second silence before there's a 5 second silence. And before I can speak up, the person on my left starts to talk. Already. So in their minds, and when I could read their expression, I saw that they were saving me the grace of not having anything to add. So in their minds, they were not robbing me of anything. They were just of the belief that I am here for tokenism. That I have this seat because I represent my family or because I represent something that has been given to me, but not something that I'm capable of or earned enough. And maybe so many thoughts did not even cross their minds.
It was just very naturally they are tuned to that.
Attuned to it. It was just something that they were socially conditioned to, and all of them genuine gentle people. So no grounds against any of them. But this is something that happened to me, and I of course stepped in and I said, "Listen, I can help you with blah blah, etc., etc." And they accepted, and it was all it went off well. But my take from this was that if you don't speak up, you're going to be passed on. And
absolutely.
And
again, a very insightful takeaway here is that if you don't speak up, somebody else will. And somebody else will take that chance.
And then you can always go back and complain that, oh, but I wanted to. Oh, but I could have.
And something wrong happened to me because they were all men.
Exactly. That somebody else took the charge. But you chose not to take charge. Right?
And how is it? Assuming that you have traveled so much, Minal, and
not really, Radhika.
So wherever you have,
I have, but I'm not a travel buff. Unlike the generation of today.
Do you observe people?
Oh, I love it. It's my favorite activity.
So culturally, kaise hain log, and how is their society working? How are men and women different in their culture, and how is it here? So, what is your key observation in these things that we are talking about? Is there any difference in other places that you have visited?
Multiple. So one of the things I'm blessed with is I'm still deeply connected with our roots. So गांव आना जाना, चाचा आज भी भैंस रखते हैं, ससुराल में आज भी वो गांव है, etc. So we're very well connected with all things, roots and all of it, and my kids still go there and stuff like that. And so there's a very desi version of me. This English speaking अच्छी अच्छी बातें is not the only version of me. There's a different version altogether.
Again, the 9 forms of Durga.
9 forms of Durga. So there is this. I play the bahu to a hilt and all of that, and like I am still very closely associated with all of it.
Nice.
And you know what that does to me, Radhika, is that it. I get this front row seat to a world that exists, which is invisible to so many of us in so many. So when I go to the village or when I go to my family and all of that, they don't know the world that exists in the international schools.
Correct.
The international school people, the people who are urban and who are travelers and who are this and that, and they don't know this world that exists. And I get this wonderful seat of looking at both the worlds and saying, so I simply love the position that I am in.
Beautiful.
I am just as comfortable in your
Both the worlds.
in both the worlds, in your New Yorks and Londons and Delhis and metros and all of that, as I am in a rural setting of a basti, of sitting on the floor and eating dal chawal and with my hand and washing it and all of it and being absolutely comfortable. And I think I'm blessed. Because very few people even get this chance.
Absolutely. They stay where they are born
and even if they do get this chance, very often they make one particular choice and then admonish the other.
Correct.
In my case, I've been able to make the most out of both these places, and that's one thing I want to pass on to my children, to say that both exist.
Yes.
The feminine and the masculine exist, the urban and the rural exist, the old and the new exist
together.
But to answer your question of saying, have I seen differences? Plenty, many. But one stark difference that I've seen is we believe that if we educate the women and, as there is social upward mobility, the space for women becomes easier and better and all of that. Somehow in my personal life, I've seen very often the opposite.
Okay. Tell me
Which
more.
is very contradictory to our notions and beliefs. But in the primitive society, in societies where there is so-called lesser of formal education, the woman puts in half as much work, half work or more work than the man does. And hence, she does not take things sitting down. She
is basically the authority of the house.
So she will put up a fight. She will probably come across as crass and she will come across as somebody who's picking a fight and all of that. But she will protect her children and she will not take nonsense coming from you just because you were born a male. Because she knows you're not bringing anything to the table.
Correct.
At the end of the day, if I have to earn and if I am feeding my children, then who the hell are you to come back and tell me A, B, C, D, whatever, So I've seen extremely empowered women in absolutely uneducated, illiterate families, but the woman knows what she's doing. And she will run the show. And the male dare not move from there.
That's the goddess energy in those women, which is very, very out and loud, that is driving them day in and day out, and they're very connected to that energy.
Yeah, and I don't know if it is just the energy or whatever. I think it is also the circumstance of saying that. On the contrary, I've seen that oftentimes when in urban settings we educate our girls, but we educate them only to be good brides, when our expectation from them is not that of being an independent person, but just being an eligible person, that is when the woman loses her identity. When you marry the daughter, you're telling the daughter to say that you're supposed to now go and adjust. You're supposed to go and make yourself probably assimilate in that family in such a manner that there are no questions that come back to us and all of it. And in doing so, that girl loses herself. Oftentimes, she's unable to speak up because she's been raised to be the good girl.
All the time, most of the time. And that good girl syndrome is something we need to fight.
So, exactly. So even if she's more educated, even if she's more empowered in terms of the formal checklist, she's unable to speak up for herself as much as that woman who is close to being illiterate. But she will be able to make her decisions. She'll be able to make her life choices.
So this is so beautiful, the point that you have brought here, because we talk a lot about financial independence. We talk a lot about educating our girl child, especially to become something so that they can be financially independent. Somewhere we miss out on teaching the emotional independence. How much can they survive, thrive, and be the best version of themselves even without the male counterpart? A male counterpart is only a complementing energy and not a completing energy, is what we need to teach them, which I think the rural women are naturally, very innately, they know that that guy is there, great, not there, okay.
कोई बात नहीं.
Emotional self ko bhi, they take charge of that and they are very.
So they have a community of women around them. So they're closely knit.
Yes.
They will have their own, they have their sisterhood, you know. So they will have their own friends and they will go, वो मंदिर जाएंगे, यहाँ जाएंगे, ये यात्रा करेंगे, वैसी करेंगे, ये करेंगे.
सब कुछ.
But they have their own tribe of people.
Tribe of women. How important that is in your life, Meenal? Do you have your tribe of women? And if yes, how has it added value in your life?
Oh yeah. So tribe again, because I come from a bigger family, so I have a 1 year elder sister, so we are almost twins and we've grown up together and all of that. My mom and my masis and all of that, so we're kind of a close knit, a big group and all of it. Between me and my sister, we have 3 daughters. So the entire house is like chappar. There is an entire tribe of women, definitely.
And outside house?
Outside house, honestly, there is so much happening in the house. I've not been able to make many friends. घर में से free हो तो तुम बाहर जाओ. इतना drama घर पे ही चलता है.
And you get your share of comfort and safety, and you share everything with your child.
Yeah. So thankfully, we have a very real close bond and all of it. So whether it is the unrest in the house or whether it is anything that's going on, the family is usually in the know and all of it. I do have a few friends out, of course, but they are a handful, and while all of them are very close, but I'm not probably the outgoing extrovert kind of a person. So for me,
you like to work and socialize,
and keeps me busy and have those handful of friends, and of course I've met wonderful people due to my professional journey, meeting you, etc. But that deep friendship that you kind of create is there, but there is enough. There are enough emotional connects in my life.
So you have already met those needs in the house. So you are not needed.
Not needed to step out.
Blessed, really
Definitely.
blessed.
Oh, blessed in multiple ways. So my bio, I think, WhatsApp bio, somewhere it reads, I'm blessed and I'm working on being a blessing.
Wow, amazing. That's such a beautiful, again, insight that once you know that you are blessed, the thing that you can pass on is be that blessing. So coming to now that we are talking about what you can pass on, if there was something that you could leave as a legacy, that something people remember Meenal as, what did she, the values that she stood for, or the fight that she gave, or the way that she spoke for herself, what would that be? And especially for the next generation, your daughter, your son, and all the beautiful children that you hold so close.
Honestly, I don't think any messages work. It is, it's what you do.
Absolutely.
Children. So I hope I'm able to do things that are legacy or.
What would you like to do? Out of all the list of things, what stands up there?
So I'd love to build spaces, communities, schools, anything that fosters better human connections. So I've seen over a period of time that all humans need humans, and that if we can be there for each other, if we can practice courage and empathy, and stand up for what we believe in, I think that's more than enough. And but it requires a lot of orchestration to build that community, to build that space, whether it is your company, whether it is your school, whether it is the space you are building. it requires thoughtfulness. It
Yes.
requires somebody to imagine things before they become real. So I hope I'm able to do that.
And you are a masterly of that already, from inspiration to execution of all the projects. Everything that you have done this far is a result of your being inspired and executing that inspiration.
Yeah, you try, and there are 100 things that go wrong. So honestly,
That's an experience.
yeah, yeah. So in my case, that's definitely been the key. I just find the next generation to be a little, um, to sometimes just not take chances. They sometimes sit on the fence and believe that, oh, but what if this doesn't work?
Correct.
You, the next generation is of course the privileged one compared to all other generations of humankind so far.
Yes.
And I think it would be sad if they didn't take their chances. So
It doesn't, and it was wonderful having all this having this splendid conversation and such insights from Meenal, from fight for yourself to speak up. If you are blessed, pass on that blessing and chance pe dance karo. Kyunki this time,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
moment will not
this
come
Navratri
back.
also won't come back.
Come back. So just make the most use of your opportunities. Do your best. And she is such an inspiration. I am sure our talk will encourage, inspire a lot of you to take that chance. Thank you so much, Meenal,
Thank
for
you.
being
Hey,
that guest.
it's been my pleasure.